Moving on to the Vikings. Here we go. Anthony Barr believes Vikings are capable of winning Super Bowl in 2021. Quote, I really feel like this year is going to be special. All right, folks, we've talked about the Vikings a little bit this season, but just because it's nothing great on this team, they're super underwhelming. So when Anthony Barr is saying they're capable of winning the Super Bowl this year, I'm like Patrick Mahomes. I'll see it when I believe it. You know what I mean? Like, let's go back these 3 years for this Vikings team and just see how underwhelming they've been, folks. Ever since Kirk Cousins got there in 2018, the first year there, they go 8-7-1, don't make the playoffs. Okay, nothing great, underwhelming. The next year they win. They go to the playoffs, go 10-6, and they lose in the divisional round. But remember, this was the Minneapolis Miracle game in the playoffs where they really shouldn't have won that game. Diggs down the sideline. Joe Buck had one of the best calls of all time. Diggs, sideline, touchdown. I mean, can we give credit to Joe Buck? I know I try to give credit every time we talk about it because he's just such a great announcer, and that gave me chills watching it, folks, because the Saints defender was absolutely trash and overplayed the ball when he didn't need to. Stephon Diggs down the sideline, touchdown, like 70 yards, and they win the game just because of that. So kind of getting lucked out, a little bailed out there. That's why they made it decently deep, not even that deep. They just got to the divisional round, wild card against the Saints, winning overtime. Diggs sideline touchdown right there. And then you go and face the 49ers and you get blown out 27-10. Lackluster. So it's nothing great. This team's always lackluster. And then what did they just do last year, folks? 7-9, not making the playoffs. So it's like, they're just so underwhelming every year. Yeah, they have Kirk Cousins, who I would say is above average in this league. Above average game manager. Well, no, I can't even call him above average. I'm calling him an average game manager out there. He's not at the Ryan Tannehill level. He's not at Baker Mayfield's level. I've got no problem saying that. And then you got, Delvin Cook behind you, which is always great. We have him in top 3 runners, top 5. I think we left him out of the top 5, maybe number 6. But that's no fault of his because there's a lot of good running back talent. And then we got Justin Jefferson, who last year was fantastic. I mean, the man was absolutely great last year, folks. Rookie, year 1, getting it done. And then you got Adam Thielen. He's a great tier 2. I've got no problem with that. Who's their tight end? I think they've got a good tight end too. Let's bring that up. Here we go. Vikings depth chart. Their tight end is Irv Smith. Was he there last year? 365 yards, 5 touchdowns. So decent. It just, once again, they've got good pieces, but they underperform every year. Every year. So I can't get behind it. Let's see what he's saying. Let's see why he says this year is going to be different. Sell me, Anthony Barr, on why the Vikings are going to be different this year. Because I don't see it, I'm not believing it, and we rarely talk about you because we just will never believe it. But let's see. Maybe he can sell us. Let's see. We've been sold before, folks. We just got sold on Nick Sirianni yesterday by Lane Johnson. So it is possible for us to get sold. So here we go. Anthony Barr played in just 2 games in 2020, losing the majority of his season to a torn pectoral muscle and joining the ranks of key Vikings edge rusher Daniel Hunter being another, who were unable to participate in their disappointing year. Instead of relying on proven contributors, Minnesota was forced to cobble together something resembling an NFL defense, finishing 27th in yards allowed per game and 28th in sacks per pass attempt. Yikes. Now that the Vikings have had an offseason to retool and get healthy, Barr has high hopes for his squad. Quote, I really do believe that we have a Super Bowl winning team this year. Obviously, there's a lot of steps to get to that point, and I've been through good seasons and bad seasons with this team. Every year's a bad season. Good season? Has there ever been a good season? When was the last time the Vikings had a good season? If you want to say that, the 2019 season where they made it to the divisional round, I guess, luckily y'all did it. What else do we get here? When was their last real good season? 13-3, and you lost the conference championship. Who was the quarterback on this team? Was Kirk Cousins here? I don't think he was. Case Keenum. I mean, Case Keenum got y'all there. 13-3 season. So, and then what did y'all do in the playoffs? What did y'all do in the playoffs in this 13-3 season in 2017? Once again, oh my God, you win the wild card. You beat the Saints in the wild card. Or no, the divisional. They made it to the championship game. They made it to the NFC championship game, but then they got blown out by the Eagles 38-7. Y'all got blown out by Nick Foles. So it's like underwhelming. All right, let's get back to the quote here. Quote, obviously there's a lot of steps to get to that point, and I've been through good seasons and bad seasons with this team, but every time we've had a tough year, we've always bounced back. I really feel like this year is going to be special. If you call 10-6 a bounce back season from the 7-9, okay, I guess, but still, it's like, is this year going to be different? Is everybody going to step up? I mean, you were blaming injuries last year. I get it. You still have to have good talent on the defensive end of the ball. But, if one person gets injured, are you guys going to start throwing in the towel? Being like, well, no, this is what happened last year. Garbage year again this year. So that's the only quote we get. And it's not selling me, folks. I'll give them a little bit more credit, because, like you said, they were injured last year defensively. But I'm still not using that as an overall excuse, next man up mentality. I mean, folks, I'm not taking injuries into a big account. You can't blame everything on injuries. I know it's easy to do, and, it does make a little sense in just the grand scheme of things. Well, we didn't have our best players out there, so, we are expected to lose a little bit more. But then you need your other players to step up. Kirk Cousins has to go and drop 40 a game. Sorry, that's what has to happen. So, can't get behind this Vikings team, but we'll give them a little bit more credit. Going in, we were giving them maybe 10 credit points out of 100. I'll bump it up to 15. It's nothing big, so we'll see what they do. And we'll see what they do early on to see if Anthony Barr is truly on the right track of thought. We'll see.